Hey guys, my name is Monma. I'm a Finnish producer, beatmaker, artist. I've been making these drum loops for a few years now for Geometry Audio. 4 packs. I think it's like 150 loops in total. I've been thinking that it would be nice to make like a making of video of one of those loops. So here we are, finally making that video. So yeah, let's get into it. This is Bitwig Studio. It's the software that I use most of the time. I've been using it for like 2.5 years now. I used Ableton Live for a long while before that, and I still do sometimes, but mostly everything I do is in Bitwig now. All of the drum loops that I've made for Geometry have been made in Bitwig, at least. So I'll show you around the software a bit and show you how I've made this drum loop that I'm gonna play right now. Yeah. I'd say let's go like track by track here. So as you can see here, we have a group, and we're gonna start with the kick. With the kick, I used Bitwig's polygrid device. You can see it right here. It looks kind of weird, pitch gliding out, but if you click here on this button right here, it opens up the interface or the grid. So this is like a modular environment inside of Bitwig. I'm by no means an expert. Actually, this is like almost the extent of what I can do with it. But yeah, I'll show you what all this means. So the kick sounds like this. And what it consists of is a oscillator here, right here. It's a sine wave. Also, there's this noise layer. With the kick, with the sine wave, there's a few envelopes right here, and this one is the pitch envelope, and we can see it right here. It's raising it up by a bit over an octave, 12.46 semitones, and if we extend the decay, you can hear it a bit clearer. And this right here is the amplitude envelope, like attack, decay also. So normally the kick sounds like this, but if we take out the decay or like extend the decay, gets like it sounds like an 808. After the amplitude envelope goes to this heat module that is like an I think it's a clipper. Yeah. Then it goes to the filter, low pass filter. And yeah, here's a blend, but it the idea is that the noise layer here is going through the high pass and also its own amplitude envelope, and the blend right here blends between the oscillator signal and the noise signal. So it's mostly the oscillator, but there's a bit of that noise to give it like texture. Then it goes to the mixer, which I don't think is actually necessary here because it's just the one thing, but mixer goes to the output where you can actually like hear the sound. So yeah, looks kind of like complicated at first, but you know, pretty simple stuff. And like I said, this is like the almost the extent of my knowledge of this. There's a lot of stuff you can do here. I can also make like a pretty basic like melodic synth thing, but yeah, we're not gonna go to that right now. On the kick track, I also have transient control, but actually when I look at it now, I don't think it's actually doing anything because these gain knobs are at, you know, their default position. So, okay, let's turn it off, I guess. Yeah, that's the kick. Let's move over to the Snapclap track. It's pretty self-explanatory. I have recorded a snap sound. Let me turn off the effects first. Also, at this point, I should point out that there's like this effects track, like a return track with Raum on it. That's the reverb that you hear. But yeah, the snap I just recorded with this mic, the SM57, and then I just affected it. EQ tool is giving it some volume. Over is a clipper. And there's 2 transient control devices to make it like really snappy. Like that. Yeah, that's the first layer. On the second layer we have this replacer device first. And what that does is it takes the audio of the snap, this right here. It takes it and like kind of detects the audio, and on this generator box you can put like a different device, like a MIDI device that takes the trigger to activate from the audio. In this case it's Bitwig's 808 clap device. You can see the audio right here, and it triggers the MIDI device. It's just a short, you know, basic clap as a layer. And what we have here is one of my favorite devices in Bitwig. It's very utilitarian, but you know, it's essential to me in my workflow. It's called time shift. So as the name implies, let's get the clap here, or the snap here too. As the name implies, it just moves the audio in time. If you used Ableton, you might recognize this same behavior in like the track delays, but I really like it here because it's a separate device. I think it's more convenient. I use this all the time. The third layer and final layer is basically another clap. It's like the same thing basically, but I panned it differently, and it has a different time shift value. So if we put them all together, this one is, as you can see, it's late, while this one is minus 7.5, so it's early. So this one's early, this one is late, which it creates this like a stack effect basically. So not everything doesn't like play at the same time. In the end we have, this is like the group effect. You have another over, like the clipper. So yeah. Next up we have the hi-hat. So this is another Bitwig device, V1 hat. I messed around with these parameters to get this hat sound, like a drum machine hat sound. And maybe you can hear it, but it's different every time I press the key. And that's because there's a modulator. In Bitwig, if you press this little tab right here on any device, you open up the modulator panel. And what we have here is a random modulator. It's just, you know, transmitting a random signal. You can see it right here changing. And it's set to note, restarts time on new notes. So every time I press this, I get a different value. And if I hover my mouse over here, you can see these blue things light up. And you can see where I've assigned the modulation. You can also see it right here. So that makes it different every time I press the key, which creates, of course, like, you know, variation in the sound. Very easy to do in Bitwig. Also, like, it makes your, well, this is like a 4-bar loop, so it's not like, it doesn't like leave that much. But if you're talking about like a full track, stuff like this really can make things like alive. We also have this hi-hat helper thing. It's like a multi-effect preset. I think it's one either of these. These are like Bitwig's, like these add-ons, effects, expansions. So what this does is it creates this like a panning thing, like this delay and panning thing, but it's pretty like subtle. You can't hear it that much, but it creates movement again, like organic movement. And finally, we have the this convolution reverb, just to make it like sound more like it's in a room. If you take out the round reverb, you can hear it better. This is like the hat without any reverb. Also, let's take this off. If we add the convolution, yeah, makes a big difference. Yeah, also we have another time shift, quite a bit of like delay on this. And here's another one of my favorite devices in Bitwig. It's Humanize. This detects like MIDI notes and humanizes them, like the name implies. So yeah, you can like adjust the timing knob, so there's like more variation on the timing, up to like 50 milliseconds. So every time a note comes in, it can like vary. If I put it here, it can vary like within those 17 milliseconds. And if I press this button right here, it makes it bipolar, which means the notes can not only come late, but they can also come early in the sequence. Velocity is pretty self-explanatory, you know. It randomizes the velocity depending on how much you adjust it. With hats, or you know, with drums, I wouldn't like use a lot of random velocity because it affects the groove, but a bit is okay. Chance is like the name implies, it's the chance of like note ringing out, so, or like playing. So if I put it to 0, you can't hear anything because there's 0 chance for it to play. 50% is like half the time. But with drums, like the same thing as with the velocity, I don't like to use randomized chance on drums. Maybe if I have like a melodic arpeggio or something like that, that's more like applicable to me. But with drums, I don't like ever use this. But the timing is super nice. The timing adjustment, and sometimes the velocity too. I use this device a lot. Next up, a drum machine. Actually, it should be named Perks, because that's what it is. Sounds like this. We have another Humanize here. We'll come back to this in a bit, but the sounds that are in this drum machine, same as the drum rack, if you're from Ableton. I've sliced it, this loop right here, and what the loop is actually this water bottle. I just did stuff like that, sliced it up, As you can see in the sampler, it's pitched down 14, and the amplitude envelope is kind of short. There's some EQ, time shift again, humanize. We've gone through that. This right here is a device called Stepwise. It's a step sequencer. We have like 8 lanes here. As you can see, they're all 16 steps long at the moment. And the 4 bottom lanes are like, they have notes in them. Full velocity, lower velocity, you know, basic stuff. Every lane also has this value right here. It's like its own time shift. And also there's this universal for this track time shift. So every lane is the same length at the moment. But if I activate these modulators here, you can see they changed already. And if I press play, they change like constantly. And that is because these 4 modulators are linked to the different lanes. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. And what they're doing is there's a step sequencer modulating the step sequencer basically. There's 8 steps in the sequence. What these bars are showing me, how long the lane is at any given time. So as you can see, the bars are high or low, and that is seen on the reflected on the length of the lane. And what's cool about this is every one of these modulators has this dice button. The dice button is a randomizer. If I play this now and just click on every one of these dice buttons on these modulators, the pattern changes. Let's get into context. So yeah, you can just click around with these random buttons and get like a different sequence every time. And that's kind of like this whole thing kind of, I think, emphasizes the philosophy that Bitwig has. Like you have this device that does some things, but not everything. And you can just customize it with the modulators to make the thing that you want it to do, basically. Like there are limitations, of course, but a bit of imagination goes a long way with this software. You know, you can do a lot if you just like think about it for a second. Like, this is what I want to do. Can I do it with the modulators? The answer is many times yes. So yeah, that's the perks. Next up we have this ambience. This is like a clip of me. This is a clip of me walking in the forest. It's very quiet. I can like boost it up. I could just use it like use this track like an ambience thing in the background, constantly playing. But what I usually like to do with these kind of sounds is I'll take the volume all the way down, and I'll take this project level modulator. So like as shown before, devices have this modulator panel, but also tracks. This is the ambience track. Tracks have their own modulator panels. Also, every project also has a modulator panel. So what this means is if I put the same steps modulator here, I can point this to everything, anything in the project, on every track, any track, on the return tracks, anywhere basically. This modulator that I have right here is audio sidechain modulator, and what's coming into it is this whole drum group right here. You can see it's coming in right here, also right here, it takes the signal of the group, and I can assign the modulator to do different things. What you would usually do with the classic thing to do with a sidechain is it would just be the kick. I would assign it to the thing that I want to sidechain, and pull it down, meaning every time the kick hits, this, you can see better here, this right here ducks. But what I want to do with this is I want to pull it down at first and modulate it upwards, meaning it stays silent until the signal comes in, then it plays according to this rise and fall. So here you can hear it. So it's reacting to the drum group. You can hear it in the kicks. Pa 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 pa. So it's not playing all the time. It just hits when the group hits, and the modulator brings it up. And the rise and the fall are really long so there's a lot of attack. So it doesn't come on instantly, and it doesn't end instantly also. It's pretty subtle when you hear the whole loop. But I found that things like these add a lot of ambience to the loop, and without it, it's that much duller, I think. Okay, next up we have this polymer synthesizer, and it should be named Laser. This is very classic synth sound. You've heard it 1,000 times. This is made in polymer. Like I said, it's a Bitwig's own synth. It's a modular synth. You can change the oscillators. There's a lot of options here. Wavetable also. Different filters. Different ADSRs. Sub oscillator noise, envelopes, all that good stuff. And what it actually is it looks like this over here, but if you press here, it's the same polygrid again. So basically you could take what's done here, and you could add to it your own. If you convert it to polygrid, you can add your own stuff to it. I'm not gonna do that right now, but I think it's super cool that you can do that. Yeah, but what we have here is a very basic sine wave going to a filter that's highly resonant, as you can see here. And there's over in the modulator panel, you can see there's an LFO, unipolar LFO, and it's going to the filter, as you can see right here. So that makes it, the laser sound. And if I move the rate of the modulator, you get that classic laser movement. And what I would do right here is I would click on this, go here. This is automation lane. I would add an automation clip and do a thing like this. Maybe a bit longer. Yeah. Yeah. So now it goes from super fast to this much slower version. And one thing I love about Bitwig 6, the new beta, it's in beta right now. We have this automation here, and you can see in the upper left corner, you can see these values. I have 3 automation points right here. And what I can do is I can up the spread value right here. You can see it moving on the points. What this does is it randomizes the automation points, the values. So now it's every time it goes through, it's different. I can I can put it to the extreme so you can hear it. But yeah, I wouldn't use it that extremely, but I think this is like a super cool thing to have because it like, I love random modulators. Automation is great because you want to have like precise things, but then you can like randomize those precise things to give like slight variations. Yeah. But yeah, that's the laser. Last but not least, we have noise. I use a lot of noise in my loops. I find that noise is really great at like filling up the frequency spectrum, and it adds a lot of texture. So what we have here is like really basic, like this noise blast, sweep, whatever you want to call it. And again, it's the same synth as before, polymer, but the oscillators are both like full turned off, and the noise is just up all the way, and the release is really long. And yeah, pretty simple. I use noise a lot, like to make like rhythmic things too. Not here, but you know, when I make loops, I love to do shakers with noise. I think it's really like you can do a lot with it. And also there's delay on the noise, and also I think there was delay on the laser too. Probably heard it, but I forgot to mention it. So yeah, that's all the tracks. Also, like I mentioned the ROM, but on the master on all this time I've had the Saturn Fab Filter Saturn. Also Pro L2. I use those two like in everything I do. Those two are my like go-tos every time I make something. Also, I forgot to mention in the drum group, I also have Saturn, and I used to use Wolf compressor a lot. Nowadays, I just use this compressor plus that is in Bitwig. I think it sounds super nice. There's a lot of makeup gain, so you know, it bangs. But I really like the compression that it does. Yeah, I think that's like basically it. Well, I would take like move the clips over to the arrangement and make them like all 4 bars long. Yeah, and there it is. Ready to go drum loop by Monma. Yeah, I hope you liked this little demonstration of my process of making these loops. I'm new to this video making things, so if there are like pointers on what to work on, feel free to give them in the comments. And I would like to maybe make some more videos like on like making like an actual track, not just drum loops. So if that's something you're interested, also you can tell me in the comments. And yeah, I hope to see you soon. Peace.